Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my end of year TBR. These are the books obviously that I want to read during November and December, and they're also the last couple of books that I have on my own to be read pile. So I bought all of these years ago and I've kind of been having this personal project to get that number back down to 0, and these are the last 8 to get me down to 0. So hopefully I can finish those in the last couple of months of the year. However, I also have Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. Obviously I don't have it yet, but it's on my list. So I anticipate that is probably gonna throw me off a little bit in regards to this to be read pile. Hopefully it doesn't make me do a book hangover too hard, because I've been waiting for that book like a lot of people for a while now, and I'm struggling to focus on reading anything else at the moment. So without further ado, let's get into the 8 books that I've got next to me here. The first book on this list I actually plan on buddy reading with my friend Steph, and she has been patiently waiting for me to get to these books finally, but it is The Contest by Matthew Riley. I have another Matthew Riley book on here, but he's quite a successful Australian author and he tends to write action, adventure, suspense stories, and that's what this is. It's like The Hunger Games, I guess, in the sense that there is an arena and obviously a contest. And it says a contest in which Swain is to compete whether he likes it or not. So that's the father, and there's a daughter named Holly. That's all I know about it, and when I asked Steph what do I read from Matthew Riley, she was like, try Contest because it's a standalone. So that is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna start in November. The next book I've got on here is the other Matthew Riley book, and it's called The Seven Ancient Wonders, and this is like, I think, Indiana Jones-ish, which doesn't mean a lot to me because I actually haven't seen Indiana Jones. I know, shock horror, what is my childhood? Anyway, the back of this says an ancient secret, one hero to find it, an adventure like no other, for a prize without equal, and so the great adventure begins. I don't need to know too much going into this because surely it's going to be an action adventure and it's gonna be a fast moving plot, so hopefully I end up liking it. And I'm gonna try and read these physically rather than on audiobook. So hopefully I can get through them when they're not usually the genre I pick up. Next we have Wicked As You Wish by Rincha Pecco, and this is the same author who wrote the Bone Witch series. All I know about this is that it's an urban fantasy, and that's it. And it came out in March this year, so it's a fairly new release, but I got it before release date. This is an advanced reading copy, and it says an unforgettable alternative history fairy tale series from the author of the Bone Witch. It's about fan family, modern day magic, finding the place you belong. Honestly, those things sound like something I would love. Excuse me. So I'm hoping that I like this. I did like Rincha Pecco's writing style in The Bone Witch, so I'm hoping that I like it in this one as well. Next is a book that is really pretty. It's hardcover, and I got this honestly just because it has a dash hound on the cover, and I love dash hounds. And it's Lily and the Octopus. Honestly, I don't know anything about this whatsoever. I don't know what people have rated it on Goodreads. I don't know what its average rating is. I don't even know what the plot is. I just know that it's got a dog on the cover, and that means that I'm probably gonna like it somewhat. My favourite book is The Art of Racing in the Rain, and that is about a dog, so I'm hoping that this one makes me like it too. I'm not sure. It says, it was then that I noticed the puppy who became Lily gnawing on my shoelace. She clamped down and put herself in reverse until the lace had been gently untied. It sounds adorable, so hopefully that is what it makes me feel. Next is another animal book, and it's Modok by Ralph Helfer, and this is the true story of the greatest elephant that ever lived. I know it's a memoir about this circus elephant, and I started this like 7 years ago when I was on holiday, and then I just put it down when I got back, but I've held on to it because both my grandma and my grandpa have written in the front of this, and they're older now and they can't write the same, so it's like a time capsule of something that they read a while ago and enjoyed and then gifted to me because they thought I might like it. So regardless of whether I like this or not, I'm not going to get rid of it because it's got their writing in it. So hopefully I end up liking it, because that would be very satisfying. Next is another kind of odd book, and you can kind of tell that most of these books don't necessarily fit what I would usually pick up. I'm a huge fantasy reader, and one of these is like urban fantasy, Wicked As You Wish. The rest, not so much. So I've kind of put these off to the end of my to be read pile list in the hopes that I'll maybe change my mind and just get rid of some, or I hope that I like them, but I'm just like putting them off because the anticipation is too much. So now I'm trying to address these, and the next weird one that I've got is S by J.J. Abrams. It's The Ship of Theseus, and it tells the story, I think, of the Ship of Theseus, but it's printed to look like a library book, and it also has the annotations of 2 characters in it, and I think it's a love story. So it's a multifaceted story, and I think I might benefit from rereading this, but I haven't actually read it the first time yet. So hopefully I like it that first time and I get into the story, because I don't actually know the story of the ship of Theseus, so that would just be interesting to learn about the mythology of. So I hope I like this book. I really hope I like it because it looks absolutely stunning. Like, the production quality here is like off the charts. Now we only have 3 books left, and one of them is Pink by Lily Wilkinson. I know that Lily is an Australian young adult author, so she's part of the Love Oz YA space, and that is pretty much why I got this. I think I also got it for a uni class, and I was at university like years ago now, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So I didn't read this because I didn't want to write an essay on it, which is pretty standard when you're in a literary course, because there are like 10 books and you can only pick like 3 to write an essay on. So I just didn't read this. But it says, the pink jumper was glowing in my grey bedroom like a tiny bit of Dorothy's Oz in boring black and white Kansas. Pink was for girls. I think it talks about gender and sexuality, but that's all I really know about it. The cover, you can't even see the cover, hang on. Maybe? But that's honestly all I know about it. It's a little bit faded from being in the sun. I hope I like it. Usually I don't really dip into as much YA anymore because I'm really picky with YA. So I hope it's a book that I end up really liking, because I really like Lily Wilkinson. Next up is a really pretty book, and even though it's not autumn in Australia, it's spring, it really has those autumnal vibes about the cover, and it's A Skinful of Shadows by Frances Hardinge. All I know is that this is a fantasy, so this is within my realm of the regular genre that I pick up. And it says, this is the story of a bare-hearted girl. Sometimes when a person dies, their spirit goes looking for somewhere else to hide. Some people have space within them, perfect for hiding. It sounds really cool, and I'm pretty sure it's fantasy, so it's not set in our world. It's a character who gets possessed by a ghost, and she's in a fantasy world, I think. So it combines the supernatural and fantasy, which sound incredible, and I think it's YA, so I'm really hoping that I like it, because again, I'm really picky with YA, so I hope this is up my alley. And then the last book on this list is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy, and this is another young adult fantasy, and I think it's about 2 princesses who are sisters who have to fight to the death or something. On the 17th name day there is a battle to the death for the royalty here, and that seems like it is going to be very fast-paced and dire in terms of its action. My fingers are just crossed. A lot of this TBR pile I'm very hesitant about, so I hope I can get through them all. So there you have it. These plus Rhythm of War are my November and December, basically end of year to be read pile. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you're finishing off any series or trying to finish off any books for the end of the year. I would love to know, but thank you again so much for watching this video. I'll catch you in my next one, and I'll chat to you in the comments. Bye.